Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Lincoln County city is under a state of emergency as officials say they are struggling to get water for everyone. And Kentucky isn't getting its first chartered school anytime soon after the motion was struck down by the Madison County School Board.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We are coming up on 6:33 on December 29th, 2024. Let's check in with meteorologist Shane Smith for a look at your forecast this morning. Shane, we talked about it a little earlier, but that windshield, it needs some scraping, it needs some defrosting.
Yeah, the windshields are a bit frosty this morning as temperatures have dropped below freezing in a lot of the area, and we've got winter weather on our doorstep. So a lot to talk about, Madison. Let's get right to it. Satellite and radar showing that the winter weather is approaching the I-75 corridor. Leading edge of that now moving towards the Lexington Metro through Danville and to the south and the east. It'll eventually be moving in towards Mount Vernon and some of our western counties here in the next hour or so. We're dry at Jenkins along US 119 and US 23. I-75, no flakes flying just yet. And downtown Hazard, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies, 28 degrees there. 32 right now, Prestonsburg. Good morning, Pikeville. You're at 31. Same story for my friends in Jackson and Middlesboro. 34 in Somerset. So some of us will be scraping a little bit of frost off the windshields this morning. May take just a second or two to take care of that. Not super thick out there in most spots. However, we will be dealing with a little bit of rain and snow mix this afternoon as temperatures only top out in the mid to upper 30s. Not expecting much accumulation, but a few of our highest peaks could see a little bit. We'll take a look at future view snow forecast, plus take a look at the extended forecast here in a few minutes, Madison.
Shane, thank you. In Lincoln County, the city of Stanford's mayor has issued a state of emergency about the ongoing water situation. Mayor Dalton Miller says this has not been a situation that transpired Thursday night, but has been continuing for several months. He says the city just has not received enough rainfall during that time, causing the main reservoir they get raw water from to not be full.
Because we could lose thousands of gallons of water if it's a major leak before anybody can get there to repair it or before we can find it.
The issue is not just exclusive for Stanford. Other places throughout Lincoln County are experiencing water problems, and even some places in Casey County are going through it as well. Officials say they are not shutting down car washes yet because they hope a rainy winter will help them. While gun violence numbers in 2023 are lower than the year prior in Louisville, healthcare workers say they are still too high. The Louisville Metro Gun Violence Dashboard shows there have been more than 400 non-deadly shootings this year. That's down about 7% from last year. U of L Health says doctors and nurses are still working on many of these cases. The Gun Violence Intervention Team also gets involved in shooting incidents.
Just the impact that it has, not only physically but mentally, we definitely do see that. Whether it takes a little longer for someone to kind of heal, because you have to be in the mindset to be able to heal. So that is when you even leave the hospital, we want to make sure that we are not only supporting someone's physical needs, but their mental health needs.
All adult gunshot victims are taken to U of L because it has the only level 1 trauma center in the region. A woman accused of shooting at her husband and his girlfriend faced a Scott County judge yesterday. Natasha Hacker had a not guilty plea entered for her yesterday. She's charged with attempted murder, wanton endangerment, and wanton endangerment of a police officer. Her arrest citation shows she shot at her husband and his girlfriend last Friday night. An officer then shot at her. No one was hit. Hacker is due back in court Tuesday. As the new year quickly approaches, folks may be making their New Year's resolutions. One resolution that officials at Addiction Recovery Care say does not have to wait is a treatment for an addiction. If you or a loved one are struggling, there are there are treatment options available as early as now.
If you go 2 or 3 days without the substance that you're used to using and you go back to use again, you have much higher chance of overdosing. And so it's even more dangerous if you're at home trying to do it on your own and then you give up on day 3 and go out and get high. That could be the last time you ever get high.
Keaton says they have transportation available to anyone in the Commonwealth. All they have to do is call their intake team at 606-638-0938. Whether you traveled for the holidays, did some last-minute shopping, or gathered with family and friends, there's a chance that you are one of many feeling under the weather. The Fayette County Health Department released new statistics showing they have seen nearly 200 lab-confirmed cases of flu, making this the 6th straight week of the total cases rising by at least 40. COVID cases are on the rise too, with more than 180 reported in last week as well.
With the holidays, we are certainly seeing so many more people. You've got germs from the north and the south and the east and the west all mixing, and so we tend to see a big increase in these illnesses in kids and adults as well.
Dr. Katrina Hood says if you are worried about yourself or your child, book an appointment with your doctor. Kentucky is not going to get its first ever charter school. The Madison County School Board is denying LaFontaine's charter school application. Earlier this year, lawmakers passed House Bill 9, which set up a funding model for the schools. Gus LaFontaine applied to take the school from a private nonprofit to a charter school open to the public. A Franklin Circuit judge struck down HB 9 as unconstitutional. Lawmakers may try to get amendment on the November ballot to change Kentucky's constitution. Senate President Robert Stivers has filed paperwork for re-election as representative to the 25th District. In a statement, Stivers says he would be honored and hopes to continue to represent the 25th District. The 25th District includes Clay, Jackson, Knox, McCreary, Owsley, and Whitley counties. The Senate Republican Caucus Campaign Committee revealed Stivers has raised more than $450,000 in contributions.
.640 now, and it's time for another check of your forecast, and we're starting off dry across southern and eastern Kentucky on this Friday. Hazard WYMT studio camera showing 28 degrees and mostly cloudy skies, 28 as well with cloudy conditions over at UVA Wise. And as we head on over to downtown Pikeville, you will see 31 and cloudy there as well. Temperatures are going to stay near the freezing mark for the next couple hours, and as it does so, we will see some precipitation move in. Probably going to start mainly as snow. We will likely mix in a little bit of rain with that. You can see the leading edge of that precipitation starting to approach the I-75 corridor as we speak. Given another hour or two, it'll move into eastern Kentucky. And like I said, it's going to be a wintry mix as those temperatures are at or above freezing in some locations, and not a lot of accumulation. We're talking less than an inch for most of us, although some of my friends down in Harlan, Letcher, Bell County, southern end of Pike County, and down in the panhandle of Virginia may end up picking up close to an inch on those higher elevations. So a little winter weather on the way, but there are more chances as we head into 2024. We'll talk about those in just a few minutes.
Shane, thank you, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, we'll take a look at everyone's favorite New Year's resolutions and how to stick to the plan.